just a few days after the Polish National Alliance's Song and Dance concert, we have a pleasure of speaking with Emily Wilkinson. Emily is the president of CIOFF USA. Emily, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time. What exactly is CIOFF?
CIOFF is an international organization of folklore festivals and folk arts, and so what we do is we involve all the nations together as the world, and we promote and preserve the cultural and living arts of humanity.
And I think that American chapter is totally different than pretty much every other chapter, because you have to work with so many different cultures that make up this nation of United States of America.
Yes, and I say we get to work with all these different cultures, because that is one of the beautiful things about living in a nation of immigrants. We get to celebrate so many histories and so many pathways that have been taken to be here and to live here within a country such as ours.
So which ethnicities are the most represented by CIOFF America?
CIOFF America, we do have multiple ethnicities. However, we do have a lot of country western. But CIOFF USA is open to many groups joining, and that's the whole purpose of CIOFF, is to bring everybody who is passionate about the folk arts, about living cultures and tradition, the artisans, the seamstresses, the musicians. It's about coming together as a family, and CIOFF is that family, and it gives that foundation for everyone to find each other. In fact, we're starting an initiative for our youth in America to join, so that we can connect the youth not only in our nation but all over the world.
Well, how is Poland represented? I know that Vici, a song and dance theater, is part of CIOFF America.
Yes, they are our Polish group in CIOFF America, and so we're so excited to celebrate their 50th anniversary this April 26th here in Chicago area, and I'm so proud of them, and it's amazing to have such a beautiful and multi-generational group represented. In fact, they came to my festival that is back in Utah, and they were able to perform there. And so I've not only welcomed them to my festival, but it's an honor to represent and help them travel the world, representing the American Polish culture internationally as well.
Oh, that's awesome. And what is especially great about Vici is that they're growing. They're expanding more and more locations, more and more groups, and as you said, it's a multi-generational thing right now, because those people who danced as kids 20, 30 years ago, they're dancing again. We can see them on stage yet again.
Yes, and it's amazing because dance is about community. I've always said, if dance and music weren't so important, then why does every language understand?
Let's talk about the festival that you organize in Utah. How many ensembles do you host? What is the festival?
So the festival is World Folk Fest out of Springville, Utah. We're celebrating 40 years, and we bring international guests, about 7 to 8 groups every year that we bring in and represent. So we've had over 500 international performers from around the world. Nations that no longer exist have been here, and it's important for us because as a festival we actually house the guests with host families to create the bond of peace through the arts.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. And if you look at, because you have to work with the Polish groups, Irish groups, German groups. There's so many nations that bring their own cultures to America.
Yes.
But this land has also the culture of its own. Are Native Americans, American Indians represented with CIOFF USA?
Yes, we have our First Nations represented, and it's so important that we honor our First Nations and that we honor all of the nations that now call the United States our home. However, the First Nations it's the land. And at my festival every year, we make sure that our festival is blessed by the Native American group that belongs with CIOFF USA, so that we honor the land, we honor the ancestors, we honor the blood, sweat, and tears that have brought us here to the world that we live in.
Yeah, because for them, dance is much more than it is to us. It carries so much more meaning. It's a religious experience in many instances. It's a way of connecting with their ancestry, with their past, with their history.
Yes.
Is that noticeable with the way they perform?
You know, it is very noticeable. When you look at the dances, you see the eagle, you see Mother Earth, Father Sky. You see the different storytelling. In fact, at CIOFF USA this year, our theme is storytelling. And so we've tasked every group that belongs to CIOFF USA to tell the stories of their ancestors, to tell the stories of their adaptation into American cultures, but holding on to their history as well. So storytelling is so important.
Yeah. How does it resonate with the younger generation? When we look at whatever's going to happen in 10, 20 years from now, we have to look at our children, at the youth. Yeah. Do you see the interest of the young generation in folk dances?
It's important for grandparents and parents to encourage the youth. It's important for the folk groups and the folk artists to go into communities and to share this, because with modern world, we're all stuck on our phones.
Yeah. So many options, so many distractions.
Exactly, exactly. And it's about community. It's about dance and coming together. CIOFF began in France because the community needed to come together. And that's what Vichy has done. The older generations missed that connection. And so having that connection and sharing it with the younger generation is our burden as the adults and the older generations within our nation to share that. That's how we ensure that our children know where they come from and they're able to lay the path for which they walk for the future generations.
Yeah, I have to ask you about your impressions from the Polish National Alliance's concert. How did you like it? What images will be stuck with you the longest?
So the image that will be stuck with me the longest is at the finale, when everyone, from the tiny ones clear up to the older generations, to see the hall full of the Polish folklore, the Polish language, the Polish costumes and stitchings, and to see the generations there, it's family.
It is,
so that's what impressed me the most, is to see the Polish family come together, and it was a great honor.
Emily, thank you so much. Emily Wilkinson, ladies and gentlemen, the president of CIOFF USA, person who is, I can say, in charge of coordinating so many different folk ensembles that live and perform here in America. Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.